What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back over at San Limo today at the big shop, and I'm doing a wiring job on this car. We're installing a switch pros. The car's getting fully rewired. I'm rewiring the whole car. We're getting rid of the fuse box. We're gonna run a switch pros in here. If you guys don't know what a switch pros is, it's like a push button PDM. It'll help us get rid of all that. Also installing a Holley dash. So that's gonna run CAN bus into the MEFI. So he'll have no more gauges up here, everything in the dash. So they just redid all this and put a big transmission in this car. This car got an S4D. It's got a blower motor in it. So I'm wiring up on this and I'm gonna show you more updates. I know in some of the past videos we talked about Joe's truck, but I haven't showed you guys this since it's been painted. It's ready to go. It's painted. Got the trans coolers in. Electric steering's in. Motor is in, and I'll have Joe talk about the specs on this motor in just a minute. It's got its radiator in. This thing's getting really close for me to start wiring. And then we've got Dave Unknown's car, our counter guy out at Glamis FAB. This is his car. Big transmission's in, arms are on, shocks are done, front arms are in, dash is in. So this one is also ready for me to start wiring. We're doing Holley Terminator X. It's a 383 cubic inch LS. I'm gonna be putting the Holley dash right here. Touchscreen, got his Pro-Am shifter in, paint and powder coat. We're gonna call this car Bobby Boucher. That's what Joe named this car because of all the colors. This is that big bulkhead front end that I talked about in that video that we put on the on our Baja Bugs and the San Limo trucks. Now you guys can get a better look at what this thing really looks like. Normally this is hidden underneath the hood of the Baja Bugs or the trucks, the sand trucks that Joe builds. Old Bobby Boucher, the orange and blue. This chassis is fully TIG welded. Brandon welded this whole bulkhead together. I mean, just knocked it out of the park. There's our Baja Pro arms. So anybody thinks that San Limo is old school, take a look at the design on this and tell me again that we're old school. All CAD designed, CNC cut, and then hand TIG welded. Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to jump in here real quick and remind you we have new merch in stock. We've got air fresheners, stickers. We still have hats, hoodies, t-shirts, all on theduneaddict.com. And I want to remind you guys, you're going to get a piece of Cletus's transmission in any random order. I still have a few pieces left. I'll go ahead and sign them for you guys because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to sign them. So I'll sign them. And also, in any random hoodie order, if you order a hoodie right now on theduneaddict.com, one of you guys is going to get the water pump pulley signed by me that exited my motor and took out my valves and stuff. So that's theduneaddict.com. Now let's get back into it. I showed you guys before, here's my car. We got it completely stripped and we're just getting ready to move this into the fab shop and all of this is getting cut out. So we're gonna get it in there, get it marked up, figure out what we're cutting off and what we're keeping. I gotta make a decision on a transmission because that sequential, that S4 is very, very expensive. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or a PBS sequential yet. But anyhow, car's all stripped and ready. We'll probably get this in the fab shop today, get to work on that. And then let's jump back into the other shop and I'm gonna show you guys my new rear arms. Here's my new arms, boys. Check those out. Big monster arms. We're going mid-board hubs, big shock mounts. Brandon just killed it. Things look freaking insane. So the next for my chassis is to get it into the fab shop, get everything cut off that I need to, and then we'll get the arms bolted on. We'll set the toe and the camber and all that, get the new tabs for those welded on. And then it's just grinding, cutting, getting it ready for paint. So while that's going on, I'm probably gonna have Brandon do a lot of that work for me so I can get this done because I'm also working my regular job, trying to get this done, my car done. And there's also another couple cars for me to wire here. I've got to wire Joe's truck. I got to wire Bobby Boucher. So, and I think there's another car outside I got to wire. So we're gonna jump back into wiring this thing. I just wanted to give you guys here on the fab side now. It's a little echoey in here. And I want to show you guys that. This is going to be Joe's new car, his personal car. I know it's got a beam in it, but he swears that he's going to make this thing a ripper with a beam. And I know you can. They're really good. He's going to weld the torsions and do all kinds of stuff. But this is Joe's new 4-seater. It's going to be turbo VW. It's got a 002 transmission in it that's built by Bill over at Arizona Transaxle Exchange. Chassis is fully TIG welded. Our boy Brandon came over here and knocked this thing out, TIG welded it up. And this thing is just about ready. He's got a few more things to finish up on this car. This is going to be Joe's new little sand toy for him. And what color is this car going to be?
You already know.
What? White. So guys, this is a copy of the very first San Limo ever made that Joe did in his garage. And I'll drop the description of that car. I'll drop it in right well, we're over here at the shop. Kind of want to show you guys something pretty cool. This is the first San Limo ever made right here. Joe made this car way back in the day, I think in his garage. This was number 1, I believe. We'll talk to him about it in a minute, but first San Limo ever made, guys, right here. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about this car and let's tell the people about it.
Well, it's the first one I ever built out of the garage. I bought a bender from my buddy for $150, and this is what I appeared. I had a dream. We went to the dunes, and I was like, we gotta have a car that has a long roof instead of a wagon train, because they all look like
wagon trains. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna build this. So I built it. Had an 1835. It has sedan tranny with close ratio, 3rd, 4th gear, little KYB shocks on it, boxed arms, and I don't know. I followed Bob Mason. I think he's 90 years old now.
Yeah.
Through the dunes, he had a turbo Pinto, and I was on his tailpipe the first time ever, and he stopped and he goes, "You ever done this before?" And I go, "No." And he goes,
"So this is the first car you ever went duning in also?"
Yes.
Holy moly. So this car has a lot of history.
The name of San Limo came from, I had 2 guys in the back from high school, and I was idling through the big whoop-de-doos right before the store, and they said this thing rides like an effing limo. And so I put San Limo together, and the first one I built, I got stickers that said San Limo.
So guys, not only is this the very first San Limo ever made, this is the first car Joe ever duned in. That's pretty rad. So what are the plans for this car now?
So my buddy Roscoe, he's the one that ended getting it. We're gonna put it all back together, but it's made out of 065, like mild steel.
Right.
I wanted a super light little car, so we're gonna add some gussets to it to update it, and we're gonna repowder coat it, and this will always be a car in the family.
Right. Yeah. Roscoe's in our Dune group. Yeah. Like he's friends.
So, but the tubing right there on the shelf.
Yeah. All that tubing sticking out by the boat there. Yep.
Yep.
That's going to be another one of these, right?
Yeah.
That's what the torsion housing down here is for.
Yep.
The arms, are those Roscoe's arms or yours?
Those are Roscoe's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know he already got a big box of parts over there. He's been collecting for a little while. So he's gonna make a jig off of this one.
Yep.
Build another one for himself, and then, I mean, who knows if anybody wants an entry-level beam car, we can put them together. That's the whole plan. Yeah. We'd rather have you guys get into sand rails versus side-by-sides. They just don't break as much. They don't, and
my whole thing in my life, I want to take my new little car with a turbo Volkswagen.
Oh, here we go,
really
guys.
Fast.
Here we go.
Guess what? All you A-arm cars, I know I built them all, but you're gonna we'll see if you can pass Joefab in a little tiny beam.
We'll see about that.
All right.
All right, guys, so check it out, man. The first San Limo ever built. This car has a ton of history. I'm sure if it could talk, it's been through a bunch of hands, but really cool that we got it back, and it's back in the family. And I know this hung in your old shop for a while too, right? It was hanging up in the shop. And then it got sold, and who knows? I mean, it needs some work, but he's going to clean it up and bring it back to life. And
we need to cut some bars out of it, and
we got to do something though that says that it's the first car. Maybe something in the graphics or the paint. Number one. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So cool, man. First San Limo ever built, right there, boys. Taking it back to the Volkswagen days too. This has got a bus trans and
2213
D-stroker. Yeah.
So it's gonna rev faster than
drop through turbo. This thing should rip. I mean, that kind of power.
Well, you're gonna find out. Trying to pass.
Oh, no, that's not gonna happen, trust me. We've all got a bet with Joe that he thinks he's gonna kill us in this beam car with our big A-arm cars, but we're and if I eat my words, it is what it is.
The first car I ever drove in the dunes is the one I built. And it had 1835, and a close ratio tranny desert tracks, the white one out there.
Yeah.
And Bob Mason had a turbo pinto. And this is 20 something.
12 plus years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and Bob Mason goes, "You've never done this before?" And I go, "Hell no." And he goes, "You look like you know what the fuck you're doing." Zero. Alright.
Yeah, what I'll put in 2D in.
And we gotta tag it.
Got it zeroed out. Going from bus to 2D in this car.
Yep.
He's learning.
We're learning.
You get a lot of love in the comments, by the way, in the videos. So.
We're here.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Doing it.
All right, so we're back over here today. Getting the Switch Pros installed. I got it mounted back here. You can see I got my soldering iron out and just trying to decipher what's what in here. But do have the switch panel mounted. Everything's good to go. As you guys can see, these will turn on the lights. This will be the start button. And then you can also do it Bluetooth from your phone, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you guys that real quick.
Why are you worrying about a car? There's a cool truck you should show.
All right, see, I see a whole bunch of parts back here. What's left to do?
Fuel lines, transmission lines, the fuel fill, put the carpet in.
Let's take a look at the interior,
Wiring.
boys. Yeah, wiring, that's on me.
Wiring.
Look at that. Look at that snooty interior, boys. Joe's been in here covering stuff up with suede. He's gonna look at that dash. And a typical Joefab fashion, white gauges. So, what about the motor? I know we talked about that before. Let's talk about what it is.
Well, it's a 423-inch dart block, 13-to-1 AFR heads. The guy Roger Beckman that built it said it'd be 780 horse to the tires, guaranteed.
Wow. So this is a 483 cubic inch or 423 cubic inch World Industries dart block, small block.
Yes.
With a big old carburetor on it. This thing is going to be rowdy. I cannot wait to wire this thing and fire it up. So also in this truck, guys, this is going to be a street truck. So Joe did Dynamat throughout, and then we did vintage air too. So it's got air conditioning vents blowing on you. This will be nice and cool. Oh yeah, and it's got my electric power steering kit. Check that thing out. It's freaking cool. This truck's going to be rowdy. And then seats. Oh look, it's already tabbed for the seats.
Yeah, jet
so,
trim.
oh yeah, the jet trims. So just like the ones we run in our car. And then what's the history on this truck? This is an ex-trophy truck, right?
Yes. It's a Class 8 race truck. In 1979, they built the truck. It raced the Baja 1000 as the Coors Light team from Arizona, and the Rock Crawler Campbell's dad built this truck.
Nice.
It had poly seats in it when I got it.
Oh my God. So running a Baja race in poly seats, that's for real men right there. And then
four shocks in the front. It has 6 in the back.
So, and then what we did with the shocks is Joe took them out, and then Mike from King
He's going to make Bilstein look alike, so it's old school looking.
right. So the truck will still keep that same look, but it'll be sprung by Kings.
Kings, yeah.
And then front suspension, it's got bent I-beams in it, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Mike says it has 15 inches of travel.
15 inches of travel, which is fine for what you're going to do with this truck. It'll be a lot of street driving, but we did clearance it for paddles, so we will be having, this thing will be out at Glamis FAB and at the dunes. And look at that Ford emblem, guys. They painted the Ford white. I mean, if you guys know Joe, and I know a lot of you do, everything he does is black and white. So he likes everything
I don't do anything
white and clean. If you guys catch Joe outside of Glamis FAB or San Limo, he's usually wearing breezy white clothes, or if you see him at the river, he's in his white boat. So that's Joe's color. If you guys seen any of his newer cars, they're always white. So this thing's Go ahead.
All this from here, this is all black sheet metal that wraps.
Yeah,
To
so
hide all of this.
sheet metaled the whole inside of the engine bay, or the outside here. So this thing is freaking rowdy. So you guys will see this year at Glamis Fab. You come on out there, you're going to see Joe's new truck, and maybe he'll even take you for a rip in it.
Thunder.
Yeah, right? So anyways, guys, we're going to jump back to work. Well, we just about got the Switch Pros finished up. Everything up in the dash is all lit up. Holly dash, radio, GPS, everything's working, intercom's working. Just about ready to fire this thing up. I think we'll come back on Monday. Joe's gonna lay out the fuel system, get it ready, and then I will finish up with the relays for the fuel pump and all the ECU stuff, that portion of the harness. I always leave extra coming out of the Switch Pro so we can tie an ignition wire for a relay pack. There's 2 relays here, one for the fuel pump and one for the water pump. So this thing's just about finished up, guys. Quick little wiring job here, and add the Switch Pros to a car.
Joefab School of Fabrication.
That's right.
Student number 1.
Well, you're about student number 300. Now, to be a typical San Limo or Joefab school, you got to go start your own business and screw them over. That's usually how it works.
All right. Every car has to be completely zero or not. I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Has to be perfect.
Yeah, it's just how we do. And then
This rear suspension with spring plates and having twisty arm with big huge pipes and twist it around to get it to zero ride height. So he learned a shitload.
the other guys, yep.
Oh man.
So guys, the other thing that Joe does is we don't build cars with uneven axles. We always dead center the transmissions. This happens a lot at Glamis Fab, where a guy will come in and go, oh, my axles are 33s, and he breaks the other side, and it's actually a 34 and a 33 on one side. And I know I've read some stuff about why guys did that. They thought because the engine's torqued one way, or it's retarded. Always center your axles. We center the transmissions, same size axle on both sides, and that's the way. All right, guys, and as usual, when I was at the shop, I forgot to shoot an outro. That's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and make sure you jump onto thedunag.com. Grab yourself some merch. We will see you guys in the next video.